Yeah, this is October 16th, 2023, and as you can see, the boating season in the Kawarthas is pretty much finished, at least finished for us. Our tiny houseboat has been hauled out and put back on the trailer, is sitting here nestled amongst these humongous houseboats. Anyway, I noticed from some of the comments I've gotten on the channel is that some of the subscribers or some of the people viewing this are intending to build a tiny houseboat themselves. So what I thought, do a brief video on some of the, let's say, performance aspects of this type of houseboat. The boat's been in the water all summer, so we've had a lot more use out of it this year than we did last. Certainly last season was hardly anything. So we've had a bit more experience, and some things want to change, some things, but most is okay. Inside it's fine. I mean, for a couple it's ideal. Sleeping arrangements, cooking arrangements. The composting toilet works well, doesn't smell at all, nothing. Works really well. And the 200 liter water tank with not too much, let's say, control or trying to ration it, lasts well over a week, so that's good. And what else? Yeah, basically I wanted to talk a bit about, the hull shape on this. This is basically a scow type hull, flat bottom. Okay, the big advantage of this type of hull over other kinds of hull is that it's a very, very shallow draft. For example, here, let's have a look here. You can see the water line here. I mean, we're talking about, what are we talking about? 6 inches, 7-inch water line. And the skeg underneath adds another 5.5 inches on it. So about a foot, it just draws a foot. And that allows you to go into some really shallow areas where otherwise you wouldn't be able to go. The drawback of this kind of hull is that it's not very, aquadynamic? No, it's, and that comes into play in two instances. One is that if you get any sort of waves of foot, you get a good chop going over 15 knots, then you get a lot of, if you're going into it, you get a lot of slamming, bang, 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 pop, pop. Because on the lake here, very short, steep waves. And also the problem is when these idiots in their power boats come roaring past you at 20 miles an hour, throwing up a big wake, they don't give a shit. And so the boat rocks, and you have to sort of really turn it quickly into the wake, otherwise you get a lot of side-to-side movement and a lot of slamming on the bottom of the forward part of the hull. Next season, what I'm going to do is probably maybe put another layer of fiberglass on this front portion here to give it a bit more strength, because it does make a lot of noise when it's slamming. What else? Oh, the other thing, I mean, the houseboat basically is a box on the water. So you get a lot of windage, which you have to account for. And the other thing, as you see, what I've done here, I put a rubbing strake on. I'm in the process of doing that right now. The reason is that, first of all, the docks here at Happy Days are all steel. So if I run into them with this plywood hull, it's going to make a dent in it. Probably won't go through, but it'll scratch it up and mark it up. So I've already put these fenders on for protection. They've worked really well. They've, coming into the dock, they've sort of certainly buffered everything. And I'm hoping this will provide some extra protection to the size of the hull. Because it is only fiberglass with some fairly thin, plywood with some fairly thin fiberglass over top. So that's one thing. The other thing I want to talk about is our outboard, what we're using for an outboard. So let me go around to the back here. We still have this 1989 Johnson 30 horsepower two-stroke on here, and I mean it ran well for the whole season. It pushed us along, and sort of not max power, but if you're running it hard, it'll push you around at 5 knots. Most of the time we're cruising at 4 knots, and gasoline consumption on this 20 liters lasts for about at running it at 4 knots. It lasts for about 6.5, 7 hours. So that gives us a range of about 25, 28 nautical miles, which in the lake here seems to be plenty. It gets us out to some places, and also carrying some extra fuel on board, another 40 liters on board, so I don't run out, don't have to call the sea tow for emergency, which is good. So, what was I going to say? Yes, with the outboard, I'm hoping next season to perhaps change this over to a 4-stroke, and 2-stroke is a little noisier, more fuel consumption, and it vibrates a bit more, especially these 1989 Johnson. And it's pushed us through the whole summer quite well, no problems with that. But I think a 4-stroke would be a little nicer. And probably I can even get away with a 25 horsepower. The other thing I should notice is that, because you got a lot of windage on this, especially when you're coming into dock, you got to be really careful, because the reverse on these engines doesn't really stop the boat on a dime. It doesn't stop it within 10 feet either. I mean, so you've got to take it very easy. If you're going to use the reverse, give yourself plenty of room so it'll actually start to slow the boat down. Other than that, it's been a good season, and we're looking forward to next season. And I'll keep you posted as to any other changes. One of the other changes I want to make is replace this kicker bracket with a bigger bracket, a more regular bracket. Bring it out a little further so I can tilt the motor up all the way. So it'll be much handier that way. So that's about it. Till next season.